I can never say I didn't have enough love in my life because I had another auntie take me in, another auntie. I had my homie's mom that met me and treated me like a son. Like all these people that I met along the way, and they just looked out for me. So I really have no excuse to not make it in life. God always had someone there, you know.
Baseline rumble, feel the ground quake. Drums hit harder than a tidal wave break. Hands in the air, let the crowd participate. We move the islands. Yeah, the vibe came. Some strength in my blood, call it lava flow. Words are up.
And the devil was always there too. Devil been looking out for me my whole life. Like, hey, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Because every avenue I turned, the devil was there waiting for me, and I fell for a lot of tricks and lies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how I said I'm a lucky one. I was there with some of the homies, and they didn't make it through that, and I'm still here. I'm very fortunate, very blessed.
The TikTok situation, you really can't change someone that has their mind already set, but you can only try to set the example. As you continue to shed light on Christianity and on your beliefs, the devil is right behind you trying to pull you backwards. And I love that you have this positive vibe in you. Um, and again, it goes back to the fact that you went through all these things as you were growing up. We haven't even touched most of the surface of what you're about to tell us or not tell us, but you still kept that positive attitude. Even being on this podcast with being sick, you're still here, you're still presenting yourself. And again, I want to say thank you. But is that something that you contribute to just your upbringing, or is that something that, is just a part of who you are as a person?
I hear you. Yeah. I think, us as Pacific Islanders, as Samoans and Pacifica, we are all measurements of our parents, no matter how we act. We're measurements of our mothers and fathers who raised us. And we always have to remember that wherever we go, we carry them. In the old days, whether it's biblical or, medieval, whatever they would say, poetic, son of, they would say your dad's name, they would say your name and present you, and you are a measurement of your parents. And even me, my mom passed away, my dad dipped out doing this thing. Therefore, I am a measurement of God's grace. So I have to remember when my ego steps in and goes, tell this fool to meet you down the road if you want to talk like that on TikTok. And I have to humble myself and go, nah, brother, nah, sister. I love you. Sorry if I offended you. If that makes any sense, then that's how I look at it. Try to be patient. Too much drama in the world anyway.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, that's what they look for first, man. They're just trying to find the drama and just trying to. It's almost like you say, it's like just being humble. Yeah, and sometimes it's tough, Situations are tough, and especially like if you were coming from a certain upbringing where there's no such thing as patience, and you've seen things that maybe a lot of people have never seen before. It's kind of tough, but to have that attitude, and at this point in life, like you said, you've been delivered all the way this far, and you're still standing, and you're still a beacon of hope for a lot of people, and especially for your family. So that's, you take hats off to you, brother. It seems like it's been a tough road, but you're still standing here, man, and you're here with us. So, and we're grateful, man. Grateful for that.
Man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you something. Sorry, go ahead.
It's nice to talk to people who are not yelling at you. Like, relax, no? God.
You'd be like, it ain't that serious.
That whole situation that tripped me out was, I don't know the guy that well. People really think that I supported him for the last 17 years of his life. I barely know the guy. I've seen some things that he said that I disagree with. As an indigenous Samoan, black or brown person, I would disagree with some stuff. But how I said earlier in this conversation, when you come from a dark life, broken life, and you go in life, you got to pick up the good things along the way and just run with it and stay positive. I took from him to pray more. I took that on board. He said to pray more on one of these clips that popped up, and I go, pray more, Ventry, pray more. Because I was about to crash out this year on some dumb stuff, like get back into, my knucklehead ways, and then I started praying more, and it brought me back to life. Be present with your children. don't abandon your kids, don't abandon your, the mother of your children, and respect them. Man, that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know too many people that I grew up with that had a dad and a mom. And you know how they say that he's talking about black folks? It affects us too. Like we grew up in that too, where there was parents missing. And I think as Polynesians or Samoans, we don't talk about that out loud too much, because it's not something we talk about. Overseas we
Yeah.
would, but not an island. We don't talk about that stuff at island. So
But we don't, because if we do talk about it, it's an embarrassment, because everybody's gonna know your business, right? And our culture, we amu each other, and so it's like you hear about this person, that person's gonna talk bad about you, say all these things, and it's like it's never ending. Trust me, I already know. He knows, because how mom was, right, wrong. Huh?
we already know everything, but we still can't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sad to see how so many people were just talking bad about him, like he didn't just get murdered. And I thought, man, wow, like this whole Charlie Kirk situation is actually a good starting point for conversations to see where we are as Pacifica. And man, because I've been watching us tear each other to pieces this year on social media. I'm like, man, like, why are we even doing that? Why are we destroying this content creator, that content creator? But they're Samoans or they're Tongans, they're Fiji, like they're ours. They belong to us, we belong to them. And then our next post would be, I'm so proud to be Pacific and all this. And I'm like, man, I think we're missing something here. I think we're going along with what looks good and what,
Or
I don't know.
what's the clout to get likes or followers?
That's that word, clout. I was calling it cloud for a long time. I'm sorry, I'm a file. Clout.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It changes.
Of course, I mean, it seems like people are gonna say whatever they want to say, regardless of if it has to deal with your emotions or whatever. And I think that with the age of the internet and everything else, it's come out a lot more, right? With people being behind the keyboard and, okay, I'm in a safe space, I could say whatever I want to say, and it's like, okay, you've taken that freedom to a different level. But back in the day when everything was more personable, everything was like we were in front of people, we would talk, we would only hear. Like, if there's rumors, we heard it from another person, but it wasn't to the extreme where we see it now online, so that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of crazy where everything's going now. Now with the Charlie Kirk situation, it's even times 100 now.
But that's how you know. That's how you know the devil's out in full force, and that's why we need people to come out, to not be afraid to talk about the Savior Jesus Christ, and even using this platform to be able to share your story, my story, his story, because everybody thinks that you have this perfect life, but not realizing there was a lot more that led up to this, to be where you needed to be.
Sorry, that's my daughter. Mommy.
Oh.
Come here. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
Now go away.
That's what I do with my other daughter too. Like, okay, hi, get out, say hi to Uncle Lee. But that's the beauty about like our journey, right? I almost feel like Heavenly Father allowed us to go through these trials and tribulations and challenges in our lives to strengthen us, because the person that's coming after us is not going to be as strong as we are, especially this generation. I feel like a lot of them are not as strong as our generation.
It is. It's making sense. You have a good heart. God bless you guys with a good heart.
I would leave my kids and tell them, go and make mistakes and figure it out. And if you can make it, good for you. I've already done my part.
Yeah, that's you.
My son's 18 years old, right? And I'm like, I said at this point, right? I said, look, I've done everything for you all the way to 18 right now. And sometimes I tell my partner, I was like, look, there's going to come a time in life where we cannot be there to keep covering up or to keep protecting him. He's going to have to make the mistakes. Like, we've all made that. We've all gone through that part. And especially with this day and age, it's just so crazy because they're learning at a faster pace by looking at other people live their lives than trying to understand, like, oh, why isn't my life like this? I'm watching this, and why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? Or, hey, if they can talk like that to their family or other people, I can do the same thing. Or if I can go troll here and do this, or if I can do this to get more clout, whatever my parents are saying doesn't matter. So it's almost like you're fighting with the outside forces versus what you're trying to teach your children. So it's like you can almost instill so much to them at this point, and then sit back and be there and hope that they're actually going to be, good people in society, help others, and be able to take the lessons that we give them to make the world a better place if they want to.
Yeah.
If not, go be a pastor.
Go be a pastor.
Go be a pastor. You don't have to pay no taxes. Go be a pastor.
I have to ask you though, because the industry within, international versus in America, how is it that you're able to use Samoa within your music and gain that popularity within the outside of Samoa? How does the culture show up in ways you write, perform, or even carry yourself as an artist?
Man, I don't know. When I go to like if I go to another space that they're non-Samoan, but they're also indigenous like us, they're from that, I just introduce myself as their relative, their cousin. Hey, what's up? I'm here, and this is something that I learned about your ancestors and my ancestors, whether it be 1,000 years ago or 1960. Now we came together and did this, man, and then the conversation starts from there, and the ball starts rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of make them feel comfortable first, right? Before you start to introduce some of the things that they're not familiar with. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think when working with other people of color and that's it. Palang is easy. Palang is like, oh yeah, let's make this money. How can I get some dollar signs? Okay, cool, yeah, yeah. But then with us, it's like it could be different, Yeah, I've had a long run, and I'm younger than the guys that that blew up out here and at back stateside. Like I'm in, how do I say it? Maybe I'm like the baby of the last generation, because the new generation is coming up now and they're calling me like big bro, and then I'm like I get it. So I'm like the baby of the last OGs, but yeah, 20 years maybe it took me to get to where I was.
Wow.
We started rapping at like 14, so yeah, it's a messed up story. Like I just had the worst luck as well. So it's a story of perseverance, and not like every time it happens, and it happens so many times, just go, God bless him and move on. There's a lot of that in my story, and not holding on to anything that's dark. Gotta let it go, otherwise it'll eat you up. And it's like when you're angry at somebody, you hold on to it, it turns to bitterness. That'll change the kind of person you are, and that kind of person that you change to is the person that's going to be raising your children. You're going to teach them hate. So I had to let a lot of things go. I recorded a lot of things on wax, and maybe I released it, maybe I shoved it, but I got it out somehow. Sometimes I used alcohol to get it out, and that wasn't it. But I learned through it.
Nice.
So, yeah, a lot of hustle, a lot of like I think one year was we were so busy that I might have seen my kids half the year. Like we were on the road touring when it really went, and we weren't big artist names. We were just hustling. So everywhere we toured, we had to really sell the show ourselves and build our brand, build the name up until a point where we were making money off of it. Yes, something like that. What was it?
When did you realize like there was a moment that you'd be like, damn, okay, now I'm kind of making it? What was it like? What was the breakthrough moment for you that you thought like, man, this is actually working?
I don't know if I had one, bro, to be honest. I always look at it, it's the plantation. And if you don't go out there and
keep planting, plant that seed.
Like you got to plant 1,000 kia pula before you can harvest the karo later. So, it's like just get out there and hustle.
Do you still feel like you're planting at this point? Like that's all you'll be doing right now? It's like when that breakthrough comes, it comes. Is that what you're still feeling like? I'm just still planting,
Yeah, like that's what I'm doing now. And we've been in a hurricane last 2 years, so all our crops got destroyed. But in the process of that, I've had time to reflect on who I am as a human being and where I'm trying to go. So instead of on the failure, I'd call it failure. I'd be like, well, we've learned a lot of lessons in the last 2 years. That's good.
That's it, right? That's it right there. That's the lesson.
Get back to, planting, and next year is going to be a great year. You got 3 months ahead of the game. Yeah.
You're still writing music right now. Are you also trying to look for artists that's out there trying to come up at the same time?
Not really. um, there's one kid I seen out there, and I go, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to him, and if I can help in any way, then I'm there. So, and that's what I've been doing with that one person. Other than that, I'm not really looking for anyone. I think if anything, people, if they need something from me, they can just come see me. Because I try to make that clear to people. If there's something I can do to help you, just pull up, have a conversation. And I'm always out in the streets anyway, and everyone knows where I'm at, so they can pull up or they can message me. As far as music goes, yeah, we got music. We got about 2 or 3 years worth of music to release. So now it's like, okay, let's get to releasing.
Are you guys waiting for the right time? Or I know a couple of artists, they would record so much material, but it's sometimes I know some of them would say it's just not the right time. It's either waiting or I'm not even sure.
This next project that I'm trying to finish now, it's a very dark project, and I'm not very dark right now, so it's kind of funny timing wise. So when I drop it, people are gonna go, "Oh, what's this guy's problem?" But then when you see me out in real life, I'm like, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" And they're gonna be
Right.
like, "I thought you was like hate everything on this project, but you seem real happier than ever." The reason why I'm still gonna release it instead of deleting it is because it was who I was a year ago or 10 years ago. It was an
Wow.
experience of mine that created me who I am, and I want people to see my pain and suffering, as well as the happy songs and the party songs and the represent the culture song. I want you guys to see everything and understand that all of that makes me who I am. And all of
Yeah.
those experiences was always there. You know? So it might help somebody if somebody could relate to it in their life today, where it's my past. And then the next album after this next dark one is gonna be super happy.
It's like the revival of the dark side. I love your work ethics. When I was young, and my brother could attest to this as well, because my dad owned a print shop in American Samoa, and we worked for my dad for free. And my dad had a lot of people who aikalafu a lot, and so when it came down to they weren't paying their bill, my dad would tell me, "Hey, can you go do the collection?" And mind you, remember, there's no GPS, there's no address. All I had to know was what village they're from. And I hustle doing that every day for my dad, collecting money and stuff. Now, going back to you, you are old school. You do the same thing, selling CDs out of your car, T-shirts, clothes, merchandise, whatever. You rather do that instead and going door to door instead of just mostly social media. Because you said I'm not really good with the social media thing and the techno stuff. Are you still like that to this day?
Yeah. Yeah, I still think the street way is the best way to go. But you do both. Like a CD, right? It costs you $1.20 to make. You sell it for $20. Sell it for $20, and do the math on that. But you're
Wait,
streaming.
hold on. It's $1 something to make?
Yeah.
You can burn CDs, right? I think people still burn CDs. You guys still use CDs?
I don't think anyone out here uses CDs. You'd use CDs more in mainland than over here.
Yeah.
You abandon it.
Everyone's streaming, right?
Yeah.
But back then when you were doing that, yeah.
You can remember how you used to read the stories and read who
Yeah.
part about it. So you make this for your the supporters that really support and really like that kind of stuff. And even if you don't make $10 billion off selling CDs, which you probably won't anymore, but CDs are still the way to go because one, you know how I asked to reschedule this because I had to go to prison yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, in prison over here, you're not allowed any burnt CDs. You can only have original CDs, and they still use CDs.
Wow.
For all the brothers and sisters that are locked up, CDs are the way to go. We can't forget our people inside, Then you have charting positions. One CD is worth a lot more than your streams. It gets you closer to your charting position. So if you sell 500 CDs in a week, you're automatically going to chart. But they don't teach the kids these things. They just teach them, hey, look, just stay up, to what's happening as far as technology revolution goes. They don't teach them that, oh, by the way, you're only getting paid 0.01 cent per stream, depending on what platform. So streaming killed the artists. So you got to find other ways to make your money as an artist in 2025. So hustling CDs is still a good way. Merchandise is another way. You got to be active with your shows. But it's all part of building the brand. So you just got to know the tricks to the trade and how to run the game.
But even with the show, you have to use money to make money, and pretty much collaborating with other artists to make that happen at the same time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see who does well and who works together.
Yeah.
As opposed to those who, they might want a big fee while they're starting, and they might not get picked up because of their big fee while they're starting.
Right.
Like, put in the work. Like,
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, some people pay to get on a big show. When they're starting. There's so many ways you can do it. Yeah.
There's just a lot of different business aspects of I know a lot of people they look at one side but doesn't even realize there's a lot of options and avenues to making money. And so, have you ever come across any situation where you're like, no, this is not me, and I'm not going to do it? Because not all money is good money. You don't have to answer this question if you don't need to.
I said no a lot. I said no to things in the streets and things in the music industry. Whatever conflicted my spirit or my morals and integrity, I wouldn't go for it. And there was some pushback. Not so much the streets or the gangster stuff. That was different, but the industry stuff, like they really wanted to press me for it. And yeah, I have a boundary. I learned you have to set boundaries with people, and they really don't care, about boundaries. But the one I stand on is don't disrespect God and don't disrespect my mom. That's the I can't save you line. If you cross that line with me, I might be having a good day and you might be okay, but man, if on the other day I'll tell you how I feel about what you're saying. You can't disrespect, what we believe in. It's the same with how I carry myself with what we just spoke about, deals. Like, come on, man, you're asking me to do something that goes against what my mom told me, what God told me. Nah, you're gonna have to rewrite this whole thing, or I'll just say, I don't like your energy to even serve me this. I think I gotta wish you well. I cannot work with you.
Man, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of industries, it's just like there's always going to be there's always going to be a balance, right? There's always good and there's always bad in anything you try to do, right? And not a lot of people would kind of take that route and say, well, if it doesn't serve my spirit or it just doesn't feel right. But it seems like if the money's good, I'm taking it, right? And they regardless, and they're saying regardless, but they don't understand the repercussions and everything else that comes behind that empty contract, right? It's like contract's not written yet, but don't worry, you just sign it. It's an empty page, but just sign it and be like, all right, I'll take the money. And then later on down the line, there's just so much that you can't even provide, and it's just going over your head, over your morals, and it's just gonna bite you in the butt. It just sucks to see those kind of things happen.
Yeah, read the fine print too. Read the fine print, man, because I've seen a lot of things that, I'll never sign contracts, man. Like certain contracts, I'd always be like, nah, I'm gonna sit with this for 6 months, but I learned what to look for in them, and yeah, it's just I've seen some stuff, guys. I've seen Pacific Islanders use the.
Do you think the younger artists that's coming up are able to follow that same footstep that you are in denying some of these contracts? Do you think that they'll be able to say no, or do you think that the money is just very tempting that they'll accept it and go against their own morals?
I want to say that they'll be smart enough to look at the bigger picture, but a lot of them it's their first time experience. As Pacific people, we're not really, not to say it this way, but I hope you guys get what I mean. Like, we're not really like good with money, like in the sense like we've known about money for like 500 years. We haven't. To our great grandparents, money is worthless. Pieces of paper. Like, this is nothing to us. But then to our generation, this is what we work for. It's what we buy homes and stuff. I think we have a lot to learn as young people coming up in the music industry. What business is and what money really is worth. Relationships can be a lot more, worth your time and effort than that $10,000 paycheck. You can push that paycheck to the side and work out of your heart with somebody, and then later on make $1 million with that same person. I've seen that stuff, and I've been around the greats in the game. I was blessed to be around people like Fiji and soak up knowledge and share a beer and hear the stories, and just how they got down and what broke them in certain areas. They give advice, so that's another thing. When you're young, coming up in the game, just pay attention to what everyone's telling you. Don't check the ego at the door. Check the I know everything at the door. Just listen to everything. It'll help you soak up the knowledge. That's it.
Did you ever felt like you wanted to quit because you're spending too much time away from your family, and is it worth it? You felt like you wanted to change careers?
I felt like I wanted to quit when things got bad or when things weren't moving. As far as not being there for my family, I think that'll be another conversation, because I think that's the more learning how to be a man and a father without having someone teach you how to be that prior to being thrown into adulthood and parenthood. It's another important conversation, really. Yeah. Yeah. So just struggling to get things done and trying to work with our people, and then you don't hear from them weeks, months at a time, and you're trying to finish this project or get this thing done. It can be frustrating. Falling out with people in the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's over nothing. Like, really, like, is it a clash of egos or miscommunication? It's nothing major, but it just goes to show how a little sprinkle of rain just messed up your whole plan. So I guess that might have been God's way of saying, don't go with that one. Wish him well and keep it moving, son or daughter. You know what I mean?
Totally understand.
I've seen a lot of not a lot. I've seen some Pacific Islanders use the culture to their advantage in the game, which I don't approve of. Because when you're using the culture to your own advantage to take advantage of someone and manipulate them to do things for you, it's like, bro, just ask them that you want this done and tell them to send you the invoice and pay them, instead of using the culture to get it for free. That's dishonorable. Even if we're all poor and struggling, we all should, chip in something like, look, man, I'm down on my money these 2 months. Can you do this for me? And I'll pay you this much, but I can get you here and this and that. I can help you. Like, just talk. Instead of going, hey, follow, I'm here, and, little homie, go do it. Like, I've seen that stuff, and it's just ugly. So, yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
understand. Sometimes there are other people that are way better for you to keep your project moving for a better cause.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about the music scene. Like, is there a big, let's just say, Polynesian hip hop community out in New Zealand and where, like, in Australia and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's enough to thrive and live off as a people, and it's just growing.
Yeah, it's so interesting because, man, I would like to see that break out more in the States,
Yeah, we've been trying to build the bridge between it, but it's difficult because we don't have $5 million to do it. You can pay to do it.
And it's so crazy because if I hear a sound like your sound, and I think you collab with even Biggs, right? That style, I'm like, bro, that's straight West Coast right there. Like, how can they not be possibly breaking out on the West Coast all over? The sound and just me as a DJ, I'm like, when I hear the voice, I'm like, yeah, they got it. I mean, you've been in the industry for so long, and me being a DJ for almost going on 30 years, you have that ear, right? All it takes is like 5 seconds to hear the voice or the song or the first beat, and you'd be like, yeah, that's the vibe. So
Yeah.
when I hear stuff like coming out of New Zealand and Australia, and I'm like, why hasn't this stuff breaking? I was like, that's crazy. But I almost feel like, what? Hey, I don't know. You know better than me. Probably why. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just baffled that I'm like, and I can't get enough of those music. I'm like, man, I need to find all this stuff so I can, like, if let's just say if I'm playing some kind of West Coast beat like, you know, the Snoops or the Dre's and stuff like that, I can guarantee there are the same and similar vibe in New Zealand from Polynesian artists who put out the same type of vibe that I can play alongside. And I'm like, we can go up and up with this stuff. Why does it not break out here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like me as a DJ, I'm baffled by that.
Yeah, they ain't pushing it. We ain't pushing it on that side as hard as we should. That's why we have to come to mainland. But that part there, even that's hard.
Do you
for
feel
people.
like there's gatekeepers for that?
I think so. I think there's gatekeepers everywhere. I never cared much. Like, no gatekeeper ever stopped me from going to LA and performing. I don't wait for someone to pay my flight though. Just pay your own flight and go. And so every year I probably do go to the stateside and you know, just I guess hood tour as well, because I go to every neighborhood and just kick it and just, you know, absorb the area, the space that everyone's in. Not just perform or record music. I go and actually, you know, have a beer and barbecue and, you know, kicking family lunches and stuff, and
Right.
just submerge yourself in the culture of the space you're in. Same as Australia, I do it out there. Same as in New Zealand, everywhere we go. I think another thing is people might life gets in the way too. Sometimes, you know, people got things they can't leave work and stuff. Like they don't sacrifice in the same as some. I know buddies that gave up everything, almost everything, for it, and then they made it because they chased it. They worked hard. They didn't slack. So it's not an easy game to be in. Rap life is not for every brother and sister, you know.
For sure.
Especially when you come from poverty or a lower class financial, you got to go twice as hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's crazy.
Death Row ain't coming to sign nobody right now, you know. It's not like the old days when you pray for a deal. Now you got to make your own. So you got to work hard. And everyone should be blowing up because as Pacific people, we could all go.
Yeah.
Not like before I book my flights to the States, every time before I go, hey, who's coming with me? Who wants to go?
Right.
You know, I got the house in LA. You just need to get your flight and bring like $100 for food for the week. But no one comes. No one wants to go.
They don't understand. Like, you got to sacrifice one way or another. It seems like a lot of people do. They want the handout and then they want the payments. But did you put in the work?
Sorry, entitlement is a big problem with us here. It's latched on to this generation, our generation. It's like it's in you now. I shouldn't have to do this because I should get this because of and all this, and our parents went through this, and the white man did this to our people and all this stuff. And it's like, nah, you missing it. Like, you got to get out there and hustle. Ain't nothing come free, and we're not owed anything from anyone. Once you think the world owes you something, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose how do I say it? Just something that gives you that edge as a hustler. That's something I learned from my dad. Every time I try to talk to my dad about dad, you know, I have a feeling of this, and he goes, son, your feelings ain't gonna get you no money. Put that to the side and go out there and, you know, hustle. Okay, Dad. You know,
That's like our dad.
I tried to talk about feelings to my dad. He asked me if I was gay. I was like, no, man. I was trying to talk to you about my feelings. Damn. Don't worry about it. Not a damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're true. I mean, at the end of the day, you are actually in charge of where you're at this point. Don't put no blame on nobody else. You know.
Yeah.
You make the decisions for yourself at the end of the day. You know. So.
Yeah. My dad, like again, my dad owns his printing shop. When we come home and my mom is making what is it, Ron? Pikaki, gravy pikaki. Yeah, we already know it's because it's because we didn't hustle enough at work to collect the money. So yeah, we get it. Like, that's what really taught us about work ethics and hard work. The results of our work. If we don't do well, we're eating pikaki that night, or we have to go to the plantation that weekend.
Man, I'm eating that now. You brought it up.
You know, for some reason, I might be the only Samoan who'd be like, I will never eat that damn thing ever again. I think I was traumatized. Because you ate it. That's all I ate is we ate like 4 days out of the week. Man, you know, the old folks, they love that stuff. And I'm like, when I get old enough, as long as there's chicken in the world, I will never eat that again.
Turn your back on it. Well, you had enough of it, bro.
Bro, it traumatized me.
I was just saying, ringy cats, man. Like, A whole
Now,
year.
if you got the, I'd eat that. Yeah,
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
Man, you guys are both lucky because you guys got the food there. In Texas, I got nothing but Mexican food, salsa and avocados, and none of the
you know
Samoan
what?
food.
I love Mexican food, but I hate coriander. Cilantro, is it cilantro coriander?
Yeah, those are
I
yummy.
can I cannot. I just cannot. I can't get past it. And I love Mexican food. Oh, it sucks, man.
See, this is the part of me that hasn't been exposed to the world because it's just been American Samoa, California, Utah, and Alaska. Then I come to Texas. I've never had Mexican food. The only Mexican food I ever had was Taco Bell. I come to Texas, and then everyone's like, "No, no, no! Go check out this Mexican restaurant. I gotta check out this Mexican restaurant."
Mhm.
And the food is just rich and delicious and just
Real
flavorful.
Mexican,
Yeah, real
real
Mexican food.
had real Mexican food in San Diego.
Mm.
That's from my experience. Like when the LA version of it is dope too, but when I went out there, they were like, "No, you got to eat it here because this is where it's at."
Yeah.
And then I had some. I was like, "Man, fish tacos and all this stuff I never had before." Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Very authentic, right? Everything made from scratch, I bet.
They got some Mexican food spots out here that are like like the Oso. He's Oso, but he's from Mexico.
Oh,
So it's really cool. He can cater to all of our demographic here, which will be the biggest buyers anyway. The island do. And he's a pure Mexican too. So he speaks it. He's from it, and he's from LA. So it's cool. Like we have that stuff out here. The culture comes like that out here.
which reminds me, your song has a Mexican theme. One of your songs, is that where it was inspired from?
I think it's the Vailima song.
Yes, the Vailima, yes.
We tried to do yeah, we took it from that. Like all of our uncles that grew up in the West Coast, we were like, hey, let's just do something that our uncles would like, and flip it and have a Samoan chorus, and let's even get a Samoan singer to do it. So we got Punya Lava to do it, and then they don't really do like the gangster stuff in music.
Crossover
I don't know.
music.
So that was the first one. Oh, I don't know about your verses, and I was like, nah, I could change my verses if you want. They were like, nah, like, because I came up with Punya Lava, like the kids.
Yeah.
We all came
Oh.
up together when we was trying to make it in music. So we were recording as kids. Then to see us 20 years later out here all grown up making it, they just did a stateside tour as well. And it's real dope to see them, like because we're from Samoa, we're not really from New Zealand or we're more from Samoa raised. It's just so
They got a
cool to see them.
concert here in 2 weeks.
Oh, they're still out there.
Yeah, I think they're still out here, but they're going to be up here in Alaska October 18.
Man, those guys can sing, man. Good
Have you
brothers
been
too.
to Alaska?
Me, I have not. No, I haven't been that far north. No.
Don't go into winter. Go into summertime in July.
Well, yeah. Is it
Yeah,
still cold
24-hour
in
daylight. Yeah, just don't go into winter.
I'm pretty sure you're used to the cold.
Man, the cold out here. Nah. When I went to Utah in winter, I was like, oh, what? Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's worse. I lived in Utah, up in Kearns, West Valley. Yeah,
Yeah.
so to me, it was colder there in Salt Lake City than it was in Alaska for me.
Yeah, Utah's cold, man. I got some homies from West Valley, yeah. My sister's out there, my older man.
Does let's just say, I was just trying to ask you about maybe the kind of music. Are you trying to cater more to, the poly crew, or are you just trying to cater to whoever can vibe to your music,
Man, I gotta say it like this. I wasn't a Polynesian until I left home. If that can make sense.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense, And so and you know what? I think I felt that way too. Like, I didn't feel Samoan until I left home. It's like, okay, I had more pride. Like back in Samoa, I was like, oh man, I wouldn't I'm not repping it like, I am here. It's like, you almost feel different when you leave the island. It's like, okay, now I'm a minority.
I was going to when you leave home and then you're living in different different influences around you. I think that's why a lot of us, you know, how they say the diaspora, a lot of us are so different because we live in different spaces with other people, and those
Yeah.
other people bring other, you know, other mindsets and understandings and influences. As we grow up with different cultures around us, we get influenced, or we influence them, either or. For me, I never was a Polynesian until I left Samoa and came overseas, and they told me I was a Polynesian. But before that, Polynesian, I only saw that on Polynesian Airlines. Like, we
That's
never
true.
identified Polynesian in Samoa. We're just Samoan, right? And yeah. So when I started writing music, I started writing music and recording music and releasing music in Samoa. And for me, that was just for all of us. I never
Mhm.
understood what represent your people as far as Polynesian or Pacific Islander or Samoan go. Um, I heard something from New York, and then I heard more of it from the West Coast. Heard some from the South, right? And so when it came to Samoa, I'm like, okay, now we have to stay our story into that. And that's what I thought hip hop was, communicating from ghetto to ghetto was all the same. And then, yeah, I came overseas and they told me I was Polynesian and I got to go stand in the Polynesian section. So that's
Yeah.
when I learning more about Polynesian is, Melanesian, Micronesian, and all these other all back in the island.
What would you consider your style of music? I should have asked that before I asked you that, you know, about the gatekeeping. I mean, what would you consider your style of music? What kind of flow, the kind of vibe you're trying to bring out?